The $100 billion diversity program which aims to put a woman and a POC on the moon. I love this. I love this so much because it's actually the stated goal of it. I'm not being hyperbolic here. I'm not pulling this out of proportions. With Artemis Mission, NASA will land the first woman and first person of color on the moon. Imagine going back to the 60s and the 70s and be like, alright, I know you're about to land on the moon for the first time for the advancement of humankind and the defeat of the communists, but we will return to the moon one day. Oh, what? Why will we do so? Will it be for settlements? For large-scale exploration? For mining and resource exploitation? No, it will be to put a skin color and a boner's hole on the moon. Just beautiful. Okay. So to be fair here, I am being a pinch facetious. Just the tiniest smidge, mind you, because this is the top of the official mission statement. This is the priority right here. This is NASA's own gosh darn site, for God's love. But one, this has been going for quite some while. I first learned about this on the ArchCast the last weekend, which that is interesting in and of itself. We're going back to the moon, and the first I hear about it is somebody super chatting me and saying, yeah, no, they're trying to put a black person and a woman on the moon. It's like, yes, that is such peak current year, it's not even funny. And yet it is. And also, there are wider goals to this mission beyond merely just diversity in space. Which is actually a thing that people are worried about now, apparently, because why the hell not? The first Artemis mission, which has already been launched, was simply to, send an unmanned probe around the moon. The second one, which is supposed to be launched in 2025, but is likely to slip to 2026, is to then crew that module, send it back to the moon, have it go around and come back home again. And then finally, the third mission will be to have it rendezvous with a model already in Mars orbit, which will eventually serve as a sort of pseudo kind of space station in a way, and then have them resupply there, go down to the moon's surface, stay there for a week to do an experiment on extended stays on the surface of the moon. Okay, cool. And then they're going to carry out some experiments, and then they're going to try and figure out all of these steps, because this includes multiple steps, like the deployment of a de facto space station in orbit above the moon, the deployment from that space station down to the moon, continued habitation on the moon, what they need to live there, thrive there, maneuver around, move, etc., pressurized rovers, and this will all then be eventually extended to the idea of a full-scale settlement on the moon. Now, that is not in the Artemis program, which is already going to run $100 billion, or, well, $93 billion to be precise, but it's already slipping, so you can be pretty sure, guaranteed, that it's going to hit the $1 billion mark, 100 billion, and sail right on past it into space, if you so will. And, just incidentally, the Chinese are also trying to go to the moon. Why would we be picking this time in particular to go to the moon, I wonder? The Chinese team will no doubt be equally diverse as the American team, and here's the thing too, I don't even really care about who goes to the moon. I don't even care about the fact that there's a Canadian on the team. Now, if they try to put a Swede on it, we might have some issues, but luckily, we're not needing to burn that bridge just yet, thank God. But the very fact that this is the primary lead, this is the sales pitch. Like, normally you'd have something high-minded and floaty, like we're going back there for the good of humanity, this is our first step into the galaxy, something like that, or incredible scientific breakthroughs. No. That comes down like, somewhere down here. Why are we going to the moon? Scientific discovery, economic benefits, and inspiration for a new generation of explorers. Inspiration for a new generation. I don't think NASA is struggling for applicants. I don't think necessarily we need to inspire young people to be astronauts again, which is also funny how Back in the day, like 70s, 80s, etc., this was the aspiration of young children. Like, what are you going to be when you grow up? I'm going to be an astronaut, or a firefighter, or a police officer, or something like that. Today, what do you want to be? I want to be an Instagram thought. Alright, standards have slipped a bit, but today... And sure, maybe we could need some inspiration, but we know what the general idea of that inspiration is due to the very first part of the mission statement being to put woman and POC on moon. God damn. It is... And hey, to be fair, yet again, this could simply just be nothing more than a political stunt. It's entirely possible that it could even have been pure accident, right? These two here could have simply been the best astronaut candidates. God, I hope so. I mean, considering the severity of the mission and the potential lethality of outer space travel, well, inner space travel technically, but you get my general drift. They could simply have been the crew that was picked in any case. And so some NASA administrator thought to themselves, this would be a brilliant opportunity to score some brownie points with the current day political environment, and slap this piece of shit thing together. Entirely possible. In fact, desirable indeed. Because obviously, going to the moon is a good thing. Setting up a permanent establishment on the moon is a good thing, because we're going to have to use it at some point, probably as a space dock essentially, to launch stuff further into the solar system. Not to mention, the moon is in essence a ready-made shipyard for us. It's already a nice stable orbit, it's already up there with minimal gravity, and we can reach it easily enough from Earth for the construction of the initial shipyards. If we're ever going to go into the galaxy, the moon is probably one of the first and easiest pit stops with which to launch these explorations. So, of course, going up there is great. But good God, how far have we fallen as a civilization? Where, I mean, the exploration of the cosmos, etc., let's see here. Is it even mentioned? I'm pretty sure it was mentioned somewhere that, Artemis 3 and beyond. Right, so basically it's at the end of it like, yeah, no. Once we've done this, we'll eventually venture out further into space. But imagine the inspirational shit you could put here. Why are we going to the moon? Well, because it might contain things we have no idea about. It might contain new elements. It might contain new resources. It might contain the mystery of life itself. Who the hell knows what's on the moon, right? It could contain vast quantities of natural resources which could elevate our problems on Earth. Alleviate is the correct word, our problems on Earth. Who knows? It could even simply just be a springboard to survival in the galaxy. That alone is an incredibly interesting thing, right? We could be a multi-planet species due to this, but nope. It's first woman and the first person of color on the moon. And may I just for a second here express my appreciation for the term POC? Because it is both incredibly dehumanizing and yet also entirely politically correct. It is a racial slur with all the meaning and the weight and the pop of a racial slur, but with none of the baggage behind it. I love it. I love the fact that they use it. It's not even the first black person on the moon. Like, that'd be cringe enough, but no. We have to add in the person of color on the moon. What? Are we unsure about his lineage? Could there be some Cherokee Indian in there? Some regular Indian, mayhaps? What, some Spanish, Portuguese? Did we not test him? Are you telling me that we didn't run his gene lineage before? That's so ridiculous. Oh. I mean, unironically, this is what the Nazi space program would look like. Right, you passed all of our rigorous genetic screening tests, sir. You may go to space now. Oh, God help me. Well, I mean, I hope this is good. I hope this is successful. I hope they get to the moon. I hope they land safely. And I hope they actually figure something out. I hope they come to the realization that, you know, this is entirely feasible. We can keep doing this. There are tremendous benefits. Here are what we've discovered. These are all of our medical discoveries, our genetic discoveries. I mean, that actually might be a thing. I was about to say medical discoveries, not genetic, but then my brain had one of those Freudian moments where I'm thinking to myself, why would you specifically put a woman and a POC in space? Are you wondering whether they will behave differently in space? See, that would be kind of funny. The two white astronauts are just standing around them, writing down notes like, the black person can breathe in vacuum. That was unexpected. It was. And it will make them vastly superior space explorers. So, hey, who knows? There could be some real groundbreaking breakthroughs from this remarkably scientific initiative. Right. This topic is gonna kill me, so until next time, I have been Arch. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Have a good day.